Hey everyone, welcome to your Capricorn Super New Moon reading that's going to be happening on January 2nd of 2022. So first of all, Merry Christmas. These are coming out on Christmas Day, so if you celebrate Christmas, a very Merry Christmas to you. And I'm excited for this reading because I'm going to do a reading for each of the zodiac signs. But first of all, I just want to talk about, it being a new moon is all about a new beginning that's coming about and perfect for a new year, the start of a new year. So we have that new moon energy coming in, but as I mentioned, it's a super new moon as well, which a super moon is, like the Earth, the trajectory of, or the orbit of the moon around the Earth is not like a perfect circle. So like, let's say if this was the Earth, it's more of an oval shape. So when it's close to the Earth and when the full moon happens, it's a super new moon because it is actually closer to the Earth. It's not like significant where it's like, super, super close, but it's closer than it is normal. So it appears bigger than it normally would. That's why it's called super, but it also impacts like the tides and impacts our emotions. Usually moons impact our emotions anyway, but when the orbit is closer to us, it is even more amplified. It's even more influential. So just be aware of that. And of course, this is going to be the Capricorn new moon, which I'm going to talk about the influences of the Capricorn energy around the new moon here in just a moment. But it's also, I wanted to mention that there is this cyclical, like there's always a cycle of a new moon to a full moon, back to a new moon every 28 days or so. But there's also the signs rotate about every 6 months. So like this new moon in Capricorn is the ending of a cycle of when it was in a full moon in Capricorn, which was back on June 22nd of this year. So if you look back in June of the 22nd and see what was going on around that period of time, the endings that start to happen as the light moves away from the full moon to the new moon is the letting go of things. It's the changing of things. So from the last new moon before that up to the June 22nd full moon in Capricorn, there was growing, there was, amplification, forward progression in whatever seeds you planted on that new moon in Capricorn before. And then you get up to the full moon, and then the full moon to the next new moon is about the changes that you make to prepare for this new moon coming up. So if you want to kind of look and see what has been falling away or changing since June 22nd up to this point, that'll also give you an idea on, what's going on there. All these cards are from this deck here too, just in case some people have asked. Moonology Oracle cards. So if you love these, it has a great little book that comes with it that really goes into the influences and some of those things as well. But for the Capricorn new moon, again, it's a time for like this newness that is coming in. The energy is so perfect to set like new goals. And make new concrete plans, even take a step or two towards those plans, especially if it's towards your professional life. And if you're like have something that you're doing as a dream that you're doing on the side, it could even be about how making that your profession, your career, instead of just a hobby and something that you love to do on the side. Because the time is ripe for new, improved work cycles. And so it brings this ambition, this feeling and energy to build, and really a lot of energy to put in a lot of hard work. So it's a good time to like make a list of your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, your intentions for the year ahead. And you can even have like a little mantra that says something like, the harder I work, the more blessed I get. And so this does have a lot of work energy behind it, as far as you feel motivated. You do want to do the work and invest it to get what you want to do. So it's a great time to, put those plans together and make a movement forward. But we're going to dig into each of the individual zodiac signs for more specifics for you. And we're going to jump into that reading right now. All right, my Scorpios, this is your Capricorn super new moon reading. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Queen of the Moon Oracle. And these are just going to represent what the Creator wants you to know overall for the 3-week period around this new moon. And it's going to be the week before and the 2 weeks after this super new moon. So for our Scorpios, Creator, what would you like them to know about this 3-week period? There you go. It's just that one. And you have surrender. And that is beautiful for you because you are ready to let it go. And here's even a new moon up here. So you definitely have this, it's kind of like the Hermit feel to it too, where you're just ready to release all this emotion, all this chaos, all this stress and exhaustion. You're just ready. You're just like, and it's not, I know this is a general reading, but I don't feel like it's like you're at your wit's end. You're just like, you know what? I'm just ready for a vacation. I'm ready for a break. I'm ready just for some quiet normalcy. I'm ready just to step into the eye of the storm and just watch the chaos around for a little bit. And so I feel like that's what energy is coming in here. And surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Let go of what you no longer need. Stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. The affirmation for this card is, I let go. I surrender my struggle. I allow the universe to work through me. It took me a long time to realize that surrendering was a positive thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean the giving up kind of surrender. I mean the, okay, it's time for me to hand this over type of surrender. Like I was talking about, it's not like that wit's end. You're just like ready to hand it over. You're like, I need a break. Here's the hot potato. For those of us who are highly independent and used to doing things quite ably on our own, admitting we need assistance or that we might indeed have to let something go for our betterment can be challenging, right? Letting go and surrendering admits or exposes a vulnerability or two. To surrender, we may need to show our underbelly. We may need to admit we got it wrong, made a mistake, grew a bad habit, surrounded ourselves with people that are not good for us. It can make us feel raw in our realization. Remember, this moon phase is dark and beautiful. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be as wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only the divine and ourselves, and then the light returns. I love it. And the companion stone for that is orange calcite. We're also going to get some additional information on this because, of course, we always, want as much information as we can get. And they do want to give you information for each of the weeks. So we're going to look at the week before, week after, second week after, and then the full moon happens there. All right, so Creator, for our Scorpios, the week before the new moon. Okay, very good. So they want to that one. And these three. And then the week after the new moon. Oh my goodness, they're just flying them out. So you get a little preview there. And then the second week after the new moon. All right. So the week before this new moon, you've got the Knight of Swords. And that is beautiful because the swords is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, and so with this knight, the knight is all about movement, and this is all about this movement of your thought and your belief. So like this was talking about, you just are coming to this point where you're realizing that what was in your life was happening for you, right? So when I read from the book and it talked about, you realize that, well, that's probably not the most healthiest relationship for me, or I just don't feel like that's what is for me now. It doesn't mean that, I don't like the word mistake, because we come here to experience all these beautiful emotions that are rooted in the shadow so that we can more fully understand who we are on the other side. And so this Knight of Swords, he actually yields this Ace of Swords, and this Ace of Swords allows him to see from a higher perspective, allows him to see the capital T truths, which are the higher truths, right? And it also allows him to cut away those small t truths that you had before, those shoulds, those need tos, those have tos, and supposed tos. And so it allows them to, cut through those and release them. Now, so the stuff that no longer serves you, and what that means is that they did serve you before. So don't judge yourself and beat yourself up about, oh, wow, I should have known better. I saw all those red flags, and yeah, I thought it was a carnival, but the red flags were supposed to warn me, but I didn't do it, and boo, boo, boo. And you can look at that and go, yeah, I learned so much through that. I learned about myself. I learned about the world, and so we are able to cut away those small t truths, those things that no longer serve us, but they did serve us. So they really wanted to emphasize that. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles, is about the outside world, the Pentacles are. But the Eight is all about, you're learning, you're educating, you're moving into this master level. So you've been an apprentice going along for a while. Sorry for the glare there. See, boop, boop. But you're at this point now where you're ready to move into that next level. You're ready to be the master. You're ready to graduate from it. And so this outside world experiences that you've been having, you learn and glean so much from them. That's why you're able to let these things go that no longer serve you, because you're like, oh, okay, I took everyone's opinion, all those popular opinions, all those, like I said, all those expectations from the outside world. I learned from it, but I'm ready to move to the next level here. And I really want this one here. Yeah, because here's the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, this is about abundance, doing so well and moving in this direction that you're wanting to head into, that it actually makes you feel so full and so complete on the inside that it's flowing to the outside as well. So I love this, because this is really about this gift, this talent, this knowledge, this wisdom, this beautiful energy, whatever you have that you're graduating with and moving to this next level. Everyone just loves it when you allow it to fill up and overflow out to them. So, don't hold back with that, because this is saying you are going to be successful at it, and people are going to love it. Yeah, and you have the Four of Wands here. So this is a very secure card. Think fours are, like four big strong legs on a table. It's a very solid foundation. And the wands are your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your spiritual energy. So your energy is very solid and you're moving along. And so this week, where you were feeling exhausted and felt so much pressure, when you let so much stuff go and you hand stuff over so that you can have this peaceful time in the eye of the storm, you get inspired and you're like, you know what? Now that I'm out of all that confusion, I'm not doing somersaults out in the storm, I see things more clearly. These capital T truths, you're really seeing what you want to give to the world. And so this little stepping away, like I said, kind of like this Hermit experience where you're stepping out, allows you to, it's like going to a mountain. I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and mountains are just like 20 minutes away. If you go up and you drive up and you look down over the city, you just have this beautiful perspective, and it allows you just to see things in that way. And so this beautiful energy brings you to the new moon happening here, and this is the week after the new moon. Yeah, you have the Five of Swords. So you're yielding that Ace of Swords still. And fives are all about transformation and change of thought. You're seeing things from a different perspective. You're seeing the struggles that you had before, because a lot of times they'll, on these tarot cards, the Five of Swords will show someone walking away with swords laying on the ground because they got defeated. You defeated them, you won the battle, but you lost the friendship, you lost that relationship, you lost the war, right? And so this is that understanding of, everything you went through before, you're allowing yourself to give up or surrender your need to be right, your need to always win, because you're realizing that, you know what? When I'm trying to prove that my small t truth is more truer than their small t truth, who likes that? Do you like that when other people try to do that to you? But when you allow them to believe and do whatever they're going to do, and you allow yourself to believe what you want to believe, it has this new bond, this new way of interacting with each other, where you're not so, worried about what people are thinking, what they're doing, investing all that energy into something that just causes a war, just causes a battle, right? And then you also have the Page of Wands. So you had Wands energy here, Page of Wands. It has two beautiful things that it comes with. The first is that you have this beautiful new energy that's flowing in, which makes total sense. Again, like I said, you have this new spark that you're getting from being in the eye of the storm. You're realizing this, going, you know what? I see the chaos. I see what's causing the chaos is that everyone is freaking scared. And they're fighting each other, trying to prove their small t truths are truer than others. Where when you connect, to this Ace of Swords, which is connecting to higher truths, truth does not need to be defended if it's really true. It just is. Small t truths have to be defended because they're untrue, right? So you realize that with this card, and this brings in this new energy. Instead of investing it in battles, you're investing it in moving forward and expressing things in a beautiful way. The other side of the Page of Wands is pages are communicators. So that's messages, like hear ye were the pages back in the olden days. And this messages, because Wands is also your spiritual energy. This means that during this week with that new moon energy, you're going to be getting beautiful messages from spirit, beautiful messages from your guardian angels and spirit guides, your loved ones on the other side, your ancestors, creator, spirit, Holy Spirit, whatever you believe, those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side. You're going to be getting them all over the place. You're going to be getting messages from the outside. You're going to get emotional messages. You're going to get mental messages, just confirmations and synchronicities and all sorts of stuff that you'll see. Because now that you're in this quiet space in the eye of the storm during this period, you're outside of that noise and you're in a peaceful place, especially with connecting to that higher unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace. When you're at that frequency, that's the frequency at which spirit speaks. And, that's where they're at. So if you raise your vibration to that and you're in that, you can hear very clearly. So, and that brings you to the second week after this new moon, and you have the Hermit. So as I was talking about, I felt like this was Hermit energy here. This is like, yes, you're finding beautiful higher wisdom as you're taking time to yourself and being quiet in there. And I even like it almost looks like a little hurricane and being in the eye of the storm there. So definitely, you don't have to be a hermit up on a mountain away from everything, but it definitely is about finding this inner light, this little star that you are. You're bringing that brightness to your path and attaching to that higher wisdom with these capital T truths. So definitely they're like, yep, not yet. Continue, do the full 3 weeks of making sure you take a lot of time to yourself. I mean, this, this is January 2nd here. So I know like your holiday, like your Christmas holidays ended here. Of course, New Year's Eve is here, which if you want to go out, whatever you want to do there, just make sure you're taking time to yourself. And then after that, you're probably ready for time by yourself anyway, with all the holidays and stuff over. And then your final card is the Seven of Cups. So cups are your emotions. And the Seven of Cups, this can be like your confusion around what should I feel, around a situation. But I really feel for you, because you're connecting to this higher wisdom. You're understanding that you came here to experience all these variety of emotions that you were feeling before. You know, all those things I was saying that were happening for you, not to you. And now with this new information, this new higher awareness, is that you get to choose what emotion you want to feel around any situation. And that is very empowering, because when you realize that the outside world does not determine what story you put around a situation or what emotion you feel around a situation. You have been conditioned and have opinions, popular opinions from the outside world on what a situation is supposed to mean and how you're supposed to, how you're supposed to feel. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it, right? In this beautiful empowerment that you're realizing is that, okay, this is my habit, my reaction, because it's what I was conditioned with and reinforced over for so long. But if I take a deep breath and realize through this peaceful place that I can choose what any situation means, I can choose what emotion I want to feel, and there's no wrong emotion, you're just allowing yourself to feel it. You just come to this beautiful, beautiful place that you don't worry about the future, because you know that anything that comes your way, any circumstance, any action that comes your way, you get to decide what it means. Everyone else will go, well, this is what it means about you, and you're like, well, that's nice for you to think that, but that's not what that's not my opinion. That's your opinion, right? So very empowering time for you. What a way to start the new year. It just really opens up doors for you too. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each of the zodiac signs, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like water signs, fire signs, etc., and several other type of readings throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below. That's going to make this notification bell pop up. If you click on that, then you can select to be notified immediately. Also, if you're enjoying these videos and you'd like to help share the love and share the messages, if you give this video just a thumbs up and click that like button, that just helps the YouTube algorithm share these videos with other people and make it like a suggested video. So if you want to be part of the love movement, just give this video a like. And of course, there's never any pressure, but if you choose to do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, my dear Scorpios, just know as you're going throughout this period and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 3-week period around this new moon, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.